All right, welcome back to the Warriors Way in association with UCAN. I am Isaac, and I'm here with Bob and Mike, and we were just getting into some of our funny stories. And so, Bob, you said you weren't sure, so we're gonna kick it off to Mike. You got to have something going through all that just came out kind of funny through the difficult times. There had to be some interesting stories in there.
Oh yeah, I had a my wife and I was always trying to convince her that she had a problem. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we went on this romantic second honeymoon.
Okay.
To down south to Kentucky and Tennessee. Anyway, on the way back, we're in the car. There's nothing else to do. We get in this horrendous argument.
Okay, and there's nowhere to go.
Yeah. We're just riding in this car together.
I'm just pissed.
And we're arguing, and it boils down to one word. What is the meaning of this one word? She said I said one thing. And I was claiming I said another.
Okay.
And it depended on the meaning of this one word.
Okay.
So we get to a place called Tip City, Ohio.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You with me?
Mm-hmm.
And so I get off the expressway. I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
And I start down this road, and there's a little strip mall, and I thought, oh, wow, great. And then there's a little bookstore.
Oh, no.
There's a little bookstore in the strip mall.
Yeah.
So I pull right in. I pull right up front in front of it and get out. Sure. And I go in to buy a dictionary.
Absolutely.
Going in to buy a dictionary.
Yeah.
So I get in there and I go in. Is there you have dictionaries? And they said, yes, we do, of course, in the back. And so I go back. I grab the dictionary. I come to the front of the store. I'm standing there and ready to buy it. And I look out the front window and she's leaving. She's backed the car out and she's leaving. She's leaving me Tip City, Ohio.
She already knew. Oh no!
And so I came out. That was a lot younger than I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
And I came out, and she was driving to the exit, and I'm running across the parking lot, full speed.
Yeah, with the dictionary in hand.
And then my head is going, is there some way that I can? Is there some way that I can get home? Is there buses around here? Can I rent a car? This is all going through my head. And she gets to the exit and she can't leave because there's somebody parked there, waiting to turn.
Yeah.
And so I get in the car and it's not a good scene. And,
did you at least tell her what the definition of the word was?
I did not get the dictionary. And the follow-up is that if people ask me what the word is, I say, well, what was the word? And I have no...
Can't remember?
I have no recollection of what the word... I have no... What the argument was, what the word was.
But you remember the fight, right?
I remember running across the parking lot, scared that I would be left in Tip City, Ohio.
Yeah.
And somebody said, asked me one time, they said, what's the moral of the story? And I said, always carry a dictionary in the car.
That's right. Yeah, so you don't have to get out. Oh, I am actually crying. That was really funny.
So that was kind of typical.
Well, I got one for you. So... Remember, I told you I had a case manager. Now, she wasn't from the insurance company. She was an independent case manager. She was making all my doctor's appointments, right? So in the first 15 months of the injury, they couldn't figure out what the injury was. And when they finally figured out what they call a unicorn, they have horses, which is a normal. This doctor is telling me this. And zebras are interesting, and unicorns are very specific and very rare. And they never look for unicorns or zebras. They're always looking for horses when it comes to a problem, right? I just happen to be a unicorn, right? So I'm going to all these doctors, and they tell me I have to go do this test. So I go down to U of M, and I walk into this room, and there's this chair, this black leather chair with these straps. And they're like, you got to sit in that. And I'm like, all right. And then what happens? They're like, well, we're going to spin you around. And then we're going to spin you around. I said, okay, I have issues with movement, and your idea is to spin me around. There's only one outcome. right? That's going to come out of this.
Oh, boy.
Right. If you've seen The Exorcist, you understand what's. Oh, no, you'll be fine, Mr. Wallace. We're going to give you a bag. I was like, oh, a bag. That'll fix it. Right? So I go in there and they strap you up. And I'm nervous, right? So I'm sweating and I'm not thin. I'm chunky, and that's because I like chocolate. And so, and the chest part didn't quite get like clicked, right?
Yep.
So they go in there and all the lights shut off, right? Whew, it's completely black. And all of a sudden these white strobe lights come, right? And then they start spinning you. You have no way you're going. So, right? This way.
Oh,
and
my God.
This
You're
way.
training to be an astronaut.
Oh, and then the doctor's like, now tell me which way the lights are going when you stop, right? I'm trying not to vomit. That is my main functional purpose. And so I'm sitting there, they're like, we want to track your eyes. And I'm like, if this is up to me to get correct, we're all going to fail. Because I'm just trying not to puke all over the stuff, right? So they stop you and they spin you, and then they got this tracer light, and they put this thing on there, and then they could notice the eyes weren't tracking properly, and I'm puking everywhere, right? So we finally get done, and the doctor comes in, and I had puke all over me, okay? And because you know how they tell you don't eat, you know, you have to only have, so it was just coffee coming out, right? Coffee and bile that was just coming out, right? And so I'm sitting there to get done, and the doctor walks in, and he goes, well, that was a successful run. And I remember looking at him and looking at myself and then looking at him, and I was like, your idea of success and my idea of success are two totally different things, right? And he was like, that's all right, we'll help you clean off, right? So I go to clean off, and I'm like, all right, fine, the day's done. He's like, no, we got one more test. And I'm like, I already cleaned up. You know, I'm already in the gown with the butt showing thing, right? So I go in there, and they have this thing from the ceiling down, and it's got these leg things, like for a giant baby, right? And they don't tell you what's going on. And basically, it looks like a living room. And so they strap you into this sucker, and what happens is the floor jostles
Oh, boy.
to see how you react to that, right? But they don't tell you that's happening, right? So I just vomited all over myself. Get done. And he's like, are you ready? I'm like, for what? And as soon as I said for what, the door dipped, and I whop, face right in the wall, right? He's like, your response time's a little slow. I'm like, are you sure? Right? Because I have no idea what's going on. So I hit my face. So then we go through the second time, and he's like, you know, I feel like you did the second time was better. I was like, well, yeah, because I realized the walls and the floor are going to be moving, so you know to react. I was like, when you're doing that, I was like, if you wanted to extract information from Al Qaeda people, this would be a good way to do it because I'm here to help you. No, and it was just like some of those. I have a whole bunch of doctors, and God bless doctors for what they do, but some of those guys, like, their bedside manner is not very fun at all, right? So those are a couple of stories that we had to go through. And
I have a real quick story, Isaac.
all right, Bob, what do you got?
It's kind of serious and maybe a little funny, but it's a memorable experience.
All right, perfect.
Towards the end of my drinking, I was at the Argonaut Lounge, and that was usually my favorite bar to go to.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there with my favorite drinking buddy, a guy named Charlie. And we were sitting there, and we were about half in the bag, and it was deer season. We wanted to go deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided we were going to go out to Joe's house and go deer hunting.
Mm-hmm.
And we're half in the bag, but we have all our stuff. We had intended to go right out to the woods, but we didn't. We stopped at the bar for one, and you know how that turns out.
Yeah.
So 2 hours later, we're going out to Joe's house, and I told Charlie, I says, well, just wait in the car right here, and I'm going to run in and tell Joe we're going to go hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I went in the house, Joe was in tears. I says, Joe, you okay? What's the matter? He says, well, I've had this horse. It's my kid's horse, and I've got to put it down, and I just can't do it. And he's bawling.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, since you're going to let us hunt here, I'll put the horse down for you.
Okay.
So I walked back out, and Charlie's sitting in the car, and I said, you know, that son of a gun Joe won't let us hunt here. I'm going to shoot his freaking horse.
You did not.
Charlie's going, no. Come on, Bob, let's just go. I said, no.
Oh, no.
I got in the trunk. I'm getting my car. He's begging me, Bob, let's just go, please. Let's go right now, please. We'll go back to the bar. We'll have more beers. We'll have a great time. I says, no, I'm getting even with this guy. So I got my gun. I go in the barn. I shoot his horse. And while I'm in there,
He's losing it.
while I'm in there, I hear another shot. So I come out and I said, well, that's enough for that horse, and screw Joe.
Yeah.
He said, well, I said, what was that other shot, Charlie? He goes, well, if he's not going to let us hunt here, I shot his cow.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh, that's awesome.
No, it was only a joke.
On that note, that was amazing. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back.